All right. So I think I worked it out finally. But okay, I had to do this really quick stream. This is not usual for me to just like jump on here and talk about something that really I didn't plan on talking about. But I bought a new camera today and it was kind of whimsical, but I've been following a little bit about the new Lumix cameras. And the reason why is because I bought this, FX30 this year that I got right here. Okay, so here it is. It's pretty much all rigged out. And I've been teaching myself how to record an S-Log and just to be more cinematic and learning about all this. Now, and I'm crazy on top of it all. So part of the whole scenario is that I wanted to learn more about being cinematic and cameras in general, and I wanted a full frame for video, and I wanted also a crop sensor, which the FX30 is. And I had all the intentions in the world of getting an FX3, getting the FX3, and then picking up the Sigma lens, the 24 to 70, and that's what I was going to use as the main camera, like very good in low light. It could just like fix everything that I would want in my needs, right? And the more and more that I've been watching, and do not leave until I talk about this. If you have any thought process of that you want this Lumix, then you got to make this move in the next 2 days, because B&H is running their Built Expo that I went to last year, and it was phenomenal. I can't make it this year, but they are having this tremendous sale with this camera, and you gotta kind of like put this all together. But I'll show you what I mean right now. So this is what I did. You pick up this camera and they're giving you a discount. Now this camera just got released, people. It's just released. And most consumers don't have this in their hands at all. And I want to let you know, like, this camera I'm paying for, so it is out of my pocket. Now, the camera has this coupon applied, right? $160 off. And then what I did was I got the lens that goes with it, the f2.8. It's a brand new lens also, and it's a Lumix lens. It's a 24 to 60. I still can't believe that I just bought a Lumix too. It's so weird because all my crop sensors are Sony, and then we have a full frame R6 Mark II Canon that we use for photography. I did not expect to get here with Lumix, and honestly, I've been so impressed, and I must have watched about 80 videos on this, and finally I find myself in here. This is the discount right here for that. But it doesn't end right there, because when you get the lens, they also give you another discount of like $40. So right there, it's about $200 saved right off the top, right, with both. But I did not have the credit card from B&H. So right here it says also that if you have their credit card, that you'll get another 10% off with this. And I was like reading into it, and I was like, what? I get another 10% off? And then I really wasn't sure about if that was going to be true on both ends. So what I did was I put it all in the cart, and then on top of that, I was like, wait a second. And they also are going to take off the tax. So all said and done, this camera was supposed to cost with the lens $4,327, right? And I was full in. I was like, this is a lot of money, but I'm maybe going to wait. I'm going to get a used FX3. I'm going to pick up this lens, and that's what I'm going to do. No, I changed it all today on a whim. So I went and I picked up this brand new camera, right, with the lens for $3,502. $3,502. The camera dropped down to 27 and change. And then I ended up getting the lens nearly for free. Now, if you have not looked into this camera, this is a hybrid camera. So it's photography, it's got a viewfinder. There's so many positive things with this, but you got to be asking, like, am I jumping into this ecosystem? This is kind of like just crazy that I did this, to be honest with you. But I didn't want to follow what everybody does, which is buy an FX3. I wasn't fully in a full frame at this point. So let me jump into this. And I thought the price was right at this point. Even though it's not even released, I was like, if I can get this the camera, right, the S1 II plus the lens for $3502, I'm going to do it. And so I went and I did this crazy thing and bought this camera. And so, you know, one of the things that I was really wanted was 4K with 60 with no crop. And I wanted to have a camera that wasn't going to overheat. And that was like one of the things. A couple years ago, I bought a Canon R6 Mark II, and then it does, you know, full frame 4K 60. But there was a few caveats, and one that if you don't look into a ton of stuff, what I didn't realize is that I had to use an external recorder if I was going to use the HDMI out. So even if I just wanted to put a little display up there, you know, a 5-incher, I couldn't even use that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to use 4K 60 fully. That's just crazy, right? So they do all this kind of stuff. Like, you remember at the ZV-10s, like even if you go, you know, 4K 30, a lot of times they take away the eye focus, and it's just subject focus. And so they change all these little things all in between all the time. And this camera does 4K 60. And it also does 4K 120 with a 1.17 crop. And that is super minimal. And really, honestly, anything above that would be just really too much for me to really to just do on a whim. It was like, I mean, what I'm talking about is this thing does 6K 30 and 6K 60 and all these things, and it's 420. And so there's and it has open gate. I don't even know if you guys know. I have so much to learn. But the point is, I was like, this camera makes so much sense. The open gate factor lets you go and record at 6K, 30, and then you can use open gate for all your social media. And so you don't have to zoom in, and you don't have to like really have your social media be an afterthought, is what I'm saying. And this is like the only camera in this price range that does it. Then on top of that, if you get the audio adapter, which is $500, and I know it's a lot of money, but the point is, you get that adapter with Lumix, it's $500. You're recording 32-bit float on top of it. And it does so many other things like, it's got LUTs that you can add. It's got so many recording options and codecs that I'm going to be super confused, but it lets you sort the menu out so you can make those adjustments. So this camera is not in a lot of consumers' hands, and I didn't think I was going to jump in and do this, but I think it might be the thing to do. I mean, I think that I hope to God, and for this price, it was a smart decision, and the FX3 is a great camera. It's a great camera, but honestly, I'm getting a brand new camera with more options, with just about almost as good as low light for less. And if you don't go over to B&H right now, Kombucha, I don't know if you're into this, but Going Places Media, you made the correct choice. I mean, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I think I will be happy because I just think it's the new cutting edge, and someone else will be the cutting edge next time, and Canon's there and Sony is always there. But you know what? I didn't want to be a so-and-so fanboy of anything. I don't have a full frame video camera, and I wanted to give it a shot. I'm no pro, so it doesn't matter. On top of that, like, I know these people talk about, oh, they're hiring and they want to make sure you have an FX3 or an FX30. I'm not in that situation. And honestly, I don't think I will be. Maybe someday, maybe never. But the point is, this camera is probably the best thing on the market right now that you can get, and it does so much. Just like even how Sony has a lot of issues with their viewfinders and their LCDs looking, having a lot of pixels and just being clear. These LCDs are better than my Canons. The viewfinder's got a higher resolution in both than my Canon does. The fact that I can do a flippy screen, or I could just pull out like you did with the old Sony cameras where you just pull out forward. I could do that. It's on a hinge, and also flip it. So I don't know. It just does so many things. I don't know how more people can't be interested in this camera, to be honest with you. So at this point, I'm full in. I ordered the camera, and if you don't have a B&H credit card, it took me literally 30 seconds. You think I'm working for B&H? I don't. I work close to B&H. So everything I buy is usually for them or from another place in New Jersey that's close by to my house. Unique Photo. They're both fantastic. But B&H is offering, if you don't have this credit card, you get another 10% off. And anything you buy from B&H using that credit card, you don't pay tax. So take those two things together, and then you take the little discounts that they're giving you, which is another $160 off and $40 for the lens, right? So right here, you get this right now because they're doing this because of the Built Expo special. So here it is. You're getting a little extra off on top of that. And then you can go and buy the lens. I mean, first of all, what I didn't even talk about is the other thing that's just amazing is the IBIS in this camera. It's like everybody has been wanting a camera that is phenomenal IBIS. And, the FX3 is not that bad at all. But it literally will blow the FX3 away when it comes to the IBIS. So to be able to do so much more, freehand, it's another possible reason why you might want to get this. And I'm just blown away that we're getting this much camera, 6K open gate, all the codecs that you're doing. Plus, like if you're a film person, which I'm not, they're going to be having you're going to be able to have some really high-end log settings in here that are going to be phenomenal. But all this is just the tip of the iceberg. And I got some things to sell. I got a camera to sell and a switcher and some other cameras that I did a review on, and I'm going to sell some of these things, and it's going to counter strike the total cost of all this. And I think that in the long run, this is going to be the best thing that I did. And so right now I am waiting for when they're going to ship it, but it's a 24 megapixel camera. It's a partially stacked sensor. The readout speeds are really phenomenal at 4K. I mean, nearly or just about equivalent to the FX3. So the rolling shutter factor, right, that we all, if you owned an A7 IV, the rolling shutter is absolutely horrendous, and my R6 Mark II does a pretty damn good job. I really didn't complain about it. And this is much faster. So the rolling shutter will not be a factor for me in 4K. I'm not whipping back and forth with this camera. And even the R6 Mark II was doing a darn good job with basketball. So I really think this is going to be a home run, really. So everybody says that the autofocus is tremendous in comparison. And even if it's only just a little bit different and a little bit less than Sony, that will be darn good enough. But All the reviewers are pretty darn happy. Now, listen, I get it. I get it. These reviewers, they get sometimes a free camera. They sometimes get a sample and they have to give it back. But there's some of these reviewers you can trust. And some of them are saying some phenomenal things about this camera. And there's other people, yeah, that may be getting this camera for free. And I don't know if I can trust what they're saying and if it's like a pump and dump thing, you know? But, some of these people I've been watching, I do trust, and so I'm gonna roll with it. And another crazy thing is that I helped build the Panasonic United States in the U.S. their headquarters in Newark, New Jersey. So I was there. I actually put the 102-inch monitor on the wall that they use in their conference room. And so that was pretty cool to be part of Panasonic's world headquarters over there. But you know, on the flip side, I wanted to try something different. I just didn't want to jump in with everybody else, what they say. They get an FX30, get an FX3, those two things together. I've never been the person that just follows everybody with anything. And granted, I think Sony's great. Canon's pretty darn incredible too. Photography, both, and the video. And it all depends what you're using these cameras for. But like I said, I don't have to go into New York City and they're not going to question me, what are you filming on an FX3? And I have to worry about whether or not I say yes or no. Go to B&H. You're getting this discount. I'm going to say it one more time because the Build Expo ends in a day. And so they're giving you a lot of leeway here. I saved a ton of money on this. I took the 10% off from the credit card, and I say it one more time. Then you're getting the discount on this camera and you're getting the discount on the lens. This camera, the S1 II, with the brand new 24-60 f2.8 lens, with both of them together, I paid $35.02. That's shipped, free shipping to my house, tax included, everything. Because with the card, they give you a discount. They don't charge you for the tax. It is so worth it to have this card if you're a B&H shopper anyway. Anyway, I had to get on here. I had to say this. I never thought I'd be buying a Lumix by any means, but everything is leaning in the right direction that this is going to be one heck of a camera. Even if the fanboy people don't want to admit it, there are people that tell you the truth about things. And one of the main factors is if I had an FX3, if I had one now, I wouldn't sell it and get this camera. That's not the purpose I'm here talking about it. But now that I don't have a full frame camera, and this is going to be my video full frame, which it has a built-in fan too, people. I don't know if you guys realize that too. It has a built-in fan, so that's pretty awesome also. So I just want to let you know that. And so there has been rare anyone saying about anything when you change the proper settings in there to go high heat, like we do with every Sony and every Canon, that they've had little to no overheating. And that's what I needed, something that was going to be reliable with a fan. And that's the main reason why I have the FX30. Otherwise, you buy an A6700 or you could buy a ZVE-10-2. It's got the same sensor, but you don't have the reliability of the camera working to your advantage in high heat conditions. And it could be just humid out and semi-hot, and you don't need that stress of the overheating issues. So along with having a built-in fan and all these potentials to have 32-bit float, and then they're going to have upgrades with the firmware that are going to be phenomenal on top of that, still coming, along with open gate, which is going to be the future for all these cameras anyways. I think it's a home run. So go take a look and see if you qualify for the credit card at B&H. You get a 10% off plus no tax. I'm practically getting the lens for free. So I'm getting the camera which the camera's 3,200 people. It's 3,200 plus tax. I'm getting the camera plus the brand new released lens, the Lumix lens, 24 to 60. That goes for $900. I'm getting both for 3,502 with the discounts and using the credit card. And jump on this now. If you're not, you're going to be pretty upset if you're on the fence and you didn't do this. And I'm telling you, I've been reading the room. I look in all these Facebook, the Facebook market. There are people, and I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. They're selling their FX3s and they're selling their lens with it. And they're probably going to buy this setup. And that there's a few that are selling in my area already, probably for those reasons. And then there's other people, of course, selling their Lumixes, like the S2X or the S5 II, and they're trying to, get half of that of what they can sell them for, and they're looking to buy this camera. So honestly, if you're on the fence about an FX3 from somebody who's not going to be getting anything for free, I'm paying out of my pocket for all this, you're going to probably look at all the stuff that this camera can do and question whether or not you're going to buy the FX3 or not. And that's what it's all about, is the competition, getting a good price, and then making that decision. So I think I'm full into this. Philip G, I'm currently also deciding if I'm switching systems to Sony and the FX3 or stay with Panasonic cameras and buy the S12. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I was going to do, and I really didn't expect anything. I've watched a little bit of Panasonic and was intrigued with their IBIS. I was intrigued with some of the options that they were offering, Kodak wise, and but I couldn't get over the autofocus issues. So I think that was really holding me back to make any kind of decision. And now all the testing I see with the autofocus will be totally sufficient for me. I mean, I think it will be just fine with it. And I'll be surprised if I am not happy with it, because I mean, everybody that I see and the things that I'm watching, they're very happy with it. And the great thing is, it seems like Lumix is that front runner of feedback from consumers wanting to change the market, wanting to get input that people are looking for. And then people make fun of Canon and Sony sometimes for having these cripple hammers out and stopping the things that we are looking for. Now, I'm just blown away that I'm getting this camera for $2,700 and it's selling for $3,200, and it's not even really released yet. I can't wait to get this camera and start messing with it. Listen, people, you only have a short time, so if you're on the fence, look at the option at B&H. You're getting a discount right off the bat for this camera of $160. Plus, if you don't have their credit card, you get 10%, then you get no tax. This is a no-brainer if you're looking at this. I came home, told my wife I just bought a new camera. Meanwhile, I just bought this FX30, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. So the whole thing is sometimes you don't expect to do what you're going to do. But I think in the end, I'm going to be happy with this decision and live with it. And to be honest with you, because I'm getting such a great deal, that if I'm fully unhappy, I think the loss will be minimal, but I want to just get my feet in there. And then I know a lot of people are, Philip is probably in the same boat here, is that he's thinking, is there enough lens choices out there right now to go into this system? And really, honestly, right now, there's more lenses than there's been. And Sigma is out there making some of their best lenses right now for the system, and Panasonic is releasing some really great lenses also. So I'm not fearful, and I'm really happy. And a lot of people said the results of their new, the one that I'm getting, the 24 to 60, was pretty darn great. So I'm looking forward to messing with it and putting my ND filters on there, doing some video and checking it out. Philip G, or was looking forward to upgrade as soon as possible. Need the 4K 120, open gate, better autofocus, and other stuff. So, listen, there's no one really saying that the autofocus is better. They're saying it's great. So I think I am going to be happy with this. I mean, there were people filming race cars and basketball games, and everybody was saying they were having no problem with the autofocus. I'm sure there's going to be some things that aren't absolutely perfect. I'm willing to work through them. Every camera has some issues. The 4K 120 comes with a little bit more crop than what the FX3 has, but at 1.17 crop, it's not bad. And even some people complained, even though this has, great low light, but it's like one stop difference or so than the FX3. And they said, yeah, the low light is a little bit noisy. I'm talking if you're a pro. The low light is a little bit noisier than Sony FX3. So take it into DaVinci, do a little noise reduction, and you'll probably be just happy with it totally. I haven't checked out, but how is the low light performance compared to Sony? So I'm on here today, Justin, because I want to tell people that you need to go over and look at this deal. Right here, they're offering this with 160 off. I didn't have the credit card for B&H. I got the credit card, then you get another 10% off on this. I bought this in the Lumix brand new lens, and then you don't pay tax either with the credit card, which is unbelievable. And I paid for the lens and the camera $3,502. So I'm just saying, if you're on the fence, this is where you need to get out there and make a decision about this. But the low light, I mean, I've watched everybody, we go over the statistics. You go watch Gerald Undone if you want the specs. Gerald Undone, go watch the video. He'll give you all the specs. And he's basically saying this camera is phenomenal. And he really doesn't blow smoke up anybody's butt. So I don't think there would be a reason that he would. And then the real live people who do video and photography are basically saying, this camera is phenomenal. Is it as good as a FX3 in low light? They're saying almost. So, and you're talking about a camera that's pretty much the best in low light all the way around for its price point. And it's still almost $4,000. This camera is $3,200 plus today at B&H. If you order it, I got it for $2,700. So do you know what I'm saying? So in Germany, I wonder what it's priced, because people in Australia are saying like this camera is $5,000. And that's where you have to take all that into consideration, where you are, what tariffs are, what the costs are. But in the US, I'm getting this from B&H for $27.34, I think it is, totally. So that camera, and then I'm getting the lens also. And the lens is only going to cost me, with all these discounts, like another $300. So I'm getting everything for $35. Oh, I just don't think I could go wrong. I mean, if you're watching this, don't you think that's a steal of a deal? I don't feel like, if something is horrible, that I could not sell this and barely lose any money if I just felt like this was a horrible decision on my end. But I really think it's going to be a great deal, because look, everybody is looking for a camera that does great photography and does great video. Everybody's been waiting for it and wanting it. The FX2, at its price point, would be at $2,500 right now. Well, I don't know how you would want to buy that over buying this right now with this discount, and you're spending a couple hundred. Listen, the only reason you're buying it is because you're already in the Sony setup and you got the lenses and all that kind of stuff. I'm no pro, so I get it. If you're deep into the lens kits and everything, and you You can't make that change. It's just not worth it for it. But I'm not. So I'm basically starting out, and I don't have a full frame video camera. But knowing that this does phenomenal video along with phenomenal photography, I'm gonna be extremely happy. I mean, they're even showing a bunch of, now this is in electronic shutter, 70 frames a second, 70. And I know other people were saying in the firmware they need to update it so you can just have like 30 if you wanted to, because the main factor is always going to be how much buffer are you going to cause by just holding that for 1 second. So if I can adjust that to 30 and I can get 2 seconds of shooting straight before the buffer's filled and let it clear, that's much better than 3/4 of a second or 1 second with 70 pictures per second. I mean, that's just ridiculous. My Canon R6 Mark II, which is one of the fastest for that, it does 40 a second in electronic, and in mechanical you get 10. But literally there was I watched the video, the guy's shooting with the buffer 70 pictures a second in electronic curtain, and he's showing all the pictures in basketball, and the ball is holding its, you know, it's not looking warped or disfigured. Maybe if you did baseball, it'd be a different story, but basketball is one of the main things I like to record to begin with. And so it's not going to be an issue. The readout is sufficient for me speed wise, and to worry about any kind of, you know, jello effects during the video also. So that's it. I just want to say that I hope this reaches a lot of people, because I think the Build Expo ends tomorrow. And if you get in there and order this stuff now, you're going to save a ton of money. So again, I want to say this numerous times, is go look at the video and see what you can save. I got the camera, and I got Lumix's brand new lens also, and I'm getting it all for the price of $3,500. I got the 24 to 60 millimeter brand new Lumix lens, and being that I'm getting the Lumix lens along with the camera, it's going to give me the best ability to get the IBIS to work its best. And the IBIS is nearly gimbal-like on these Panasonic cameras, which I can't wait to try out myself and actually go there and see how this all rolls. But I don't know. I hope you people that are interested in this, I don't gain anything. So if you hit, you know, I don't even have a link here. Actually, I posted whatever. I don't gain anything. I don't have anything in correlation. I'm a small YouTuber. So listen, if this helped you in any way, just hit the like and subscribe to my channel. That's enough. I just wanted to get out there and reach to people and let them know, hey, you're interested in this camera? Make the move today. You got today, tonight, and tomorrow. Make the move, and then you'll be happy, because you'll be saving. Because if you're on the fence, now's the time to do it. But that's it. I'm excited. I can't wait until it gets shipped to me. And as a regular guy who loves to do video and YouTube and photography, I'll be doing some videos on this camera in comparison to some of the things I use. My Canon R6 Mark II, my FX3, and then even I have in here, this is just simply in my studio, a ZV-E10. This is what I use. I use 2 of them for my studio, which I think it looks freaking ridiculous. It looks great, right? We don't need anything better in here. That's it. Peace out. Hit the like, and listen, like I said, subscribe if this helped you save a ton of money, because it helped me save a ton of money. I just want to let you know. All right. Peace out. Have a good day. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for listening. Bye, guys.